Mr. Baharloo, you and your son Rod just finished a movie by the name of Devolution. What does devolution mean?
What do you think devolution means?
Opposite of revolution.
This year we are going to have a 40% national growth at constant prices, which is more than twice, almost 3 times, the world record which was held by the Japanese.
I did criticize the president because of our undercutting of what was a stalwart ally, the Shah of Iran. And I did think that it was a blot on our record that we let him down.
Revolution is supposedly a forward movement, which I still strongly don't believe in it, any revolution. But in terms of Iran and what happened to Iran, it's a true devolution, meaning a nation devalued itself.
Rod, tell me, what was your role in this movie? Like, what did you take care of?
I think that we both commingled our roles, so we intertwined each other's responsibilities to the point that it's hard to actually figure out which one of us did which part in the movie. There's parts that I wrote, there's parts I researched, there's parts my father edited, there's parts my father, together it was a very good mix, I could say, of working together and create, lightening each other's responsibilities. Certain aspects that I had difficulty with, my father always stepped in, and vice versa. And we tried to help each other make this as smooth as possible, but for us to put a finger on one role or another would be quite difficult, I think.
Look, we were from 2 generations, 30-some years apart, okay? But so we could not actually, we were just parallel moving, but we could not connect at one point to see what is a question that we both could share. And that question was, why in a country like Iran, a revolution happened? A country as wealthy, healthy, and progressive like Iran should have had a revolution. This was the question that we both shared. So we tried to find the answer for both generations. My generation, I was away, I was here when it happened, but I could never convince myself that it was a right move. And from the inception of this revolution, I felt that there is a wrong movement. For Rod, then ask himself why he became interested.
I really want to know, this, when I speak to people, recently I moved to Los Angeles a few years ago, where the Iranian population there is so much larger than on the East Coast. I've gotten a lot closer to my culture and spoken to a lot of people in my age group that have come from Iran. My biggest question has always been, why did everybody leave if this was something that we all wanted, or why is my family here? This is something that's created great confusion for me, in all honesty. How to return back to my roots, and what's the wall that's blocking me from getting there? And I think that since there are so many Iranian Americans in my age range that have grown up outside of Iran, Europe, Canada, America, and so many other places, I really feel as if we all share this question.
And at the time that revolution happened in Iran, the population of Iran was like 30-some million. At least 4 to 5 million people just got out of country. That was the greatest brain drain in the history of any nation. We are talking about, about 5 million out of 35 million. Why it happened? Then we look at the footage on the films from the old time, from revolution, and we see all these people asking for this revolution, and then you say something is wrong. If it was something that everybody wanted, then why everybody just got out of country? We are now scattered all over the globe. 5 million Iranians, maybe more. Why are we here?
So then the idea for this movie came because one day you just, what happened? What happened for this?
The idea happened 33 years ago, honestly. But it was 33 years in making. But I needed, in 2010, I needed a driving force to make me move for this project. And the driving force was Rod.
And my driving force is you. I mean, when I say that we shared responsibility, it's not just a technical responsibility. On top of that, we both feel, with the knowledge that we've learned or the information that we've acquired, we both feel such a responsibility in our hearts to give this information to people. We're not the type that would ever tell, this is the way you should think, this is the way you should think, this is right, this is wrong. This is not our agenda, nor is it our responsibility. Our only responsibility in our hearts is to share what we've learned along the way and to try to help some of those that have the same questions as us.
Look, this is not a documentary that we look as from outside and look inside and say, well, this is not our business, but we are going to report you. No, there is something personal. There is something personal about this revolution. With me, with him, with you, with all Iranians. Yeah. There is something personal. And I think, and I want to expand this and say it's something personal for all citizens of this globe, this world, to know, to take a look at themselves and say what went wrong, and to see the responsibilities of their own on what happened to us, to the Iranians. Mm-hmm. Look, if September 11 happens, it's the direct result of Iran revolution. If it was not Iranian revolution, we did not have people here, we did not have September 11, we didn't have that kind of like open war with terrorism. Terrorism was limited to someone, a baby like Carlos. Look, now we're talking about like it's an international world war. It all happened because the world neglected about Iran and some part of this world because of the economic greed intentionally contributed to the downfall of this nation. And this movie should also bring their conscience and say, look at us and look at yourself. Tell us, weren't you feeling safer before Iran revolution?
And also, you know, a lot of people, when you discuss Iran with them, they have such a limited understanding of Iran's geopolitical importance or what it actually identifies and represents. If you talk to anybody from another country, it doesn't matter where they are, they always think their country is the most important, greatest country. But in essence, if you take the personal attachment of us to Iran away, you still see the geopolitical importance of that region, of that country, as well as the role that they played in stabilizing the world prior to the revolution. Mm-hmm. You know, so many people don't realize how close Iran and Israel were, per se, and where has it become now? These are not things from that the people wanted. Mm-hmm. These are not things, and the people haven't changed in culture, in essence.
They are
right.
Still, yeah.
Well, we've been clothed with a new drab apparel that represents us in a different way these days.
The movie is in English. It's not in Farsi.
Yes, it's in English.
It's in English, and it's to cover our generation and also people from other countries.
Yes, because I think we have reached to a point globally that no country can claim that they are isolated, separated from the whole. We are so connected. And so the whole world should know. Look, there is this misinformation and disinformation about Iranian revolution is widespread all over the world. Before the revolution, actually, the media played its role badly.
Good evening from CBS News. This is Newsbreak.
Sometimes intentionally.
Good evening. Now we know the United States has passed the word to the Shah of Iran. It's time for him to leave his country.
Sometimes because of the ignorance that they had.
Good evening. The UN Security Council is meeting tonight on the Iranian situation.
About Iran, about what's happening in Iran. They were thinking that in Iran everything goes like they are going through recession, dictatorship, suffocating this and that, torture, this kind. Look, this is the way that they were representing Iran before this revolution. And then after that, still they feel it was something legitimately was done, but then Khomeini came and stole the revolution from the so-called intellectuals. If they were intellectual, if they were intellect enough, Khomeini could not steal it from them. Look, so they were not as smart as the guy then. And then you cannot call them intellectuals. You cannot call them smart people. Devolution is setting the stage now for what happened. And then we go back again on Devolution 2 to say the mechanism of what happened and why happened.
An island of stability.
I did criticize the president because of our undercutting of what was a stalwart ally, the Shah of Iran. And I did think that it was a blot on our record that we let him down.